You had India, Pakistan that was going. In fact, planes were being shot out of there. Four or five, but I think five jets were shot down actually. And Lindsay, that was getting worse and worse, wasn't it? That was looking like it was going to go. These are two serious nuclear countries, and they were hitting each other. You know, it seems like a new form of warfare. You saw it recently when you looked at what we did in Iran, where we knocked out their nuclear capability, totally knocked out. That it's going to be gone for a long time. But there seems to be a hit and then another hit, a hit and another hit. It's a different thing. But India and Pakistan were going at it, and they were back and forth, and it was getting bigger and bigger. And we got it solved through trade. We said, "You guys want to make a trade deal? We're not making a trade deal if you're going to be throwing around weapons and maybe nuclear weapons, both very powerful nuclear states."
Yes, friends. U.S. President Trump has started humiliating the Bharat Empire again. He seems very dissatisfied that Modi occupies the position of Clown King, a title he believes should belong to him alone. After the India-Pakistan air conflict, global media adopted Pakistan's battle reports, frantically mocking the Indian Air Force. However, Clown Modi and BJP's media declared India's victory, holding a 10-day nationwide celebration. The New York Times even dedicated an entire page to mocking the Bharat Empire for spreading fake news. Yet Bharat Empire fans remain unwaveringly loyal to Modi. As the high priest of Hinduism, his words, along with those of the goddess of lies Paki Sharma, are considered absolutely true. The Bharat Empire's GDP, mixed with cow dung, has surpassed Japan, becoming the world's fourth largest. And they claim they will become a developed nation by 2047, despite being poorer than many African countries. How could the Bharat Empire's Air Force, ranked third in the world, lose 5-0 to Pakistan? In fact, Trump got it wrong. The accurate report is 6-0, with 5 fighter jets and 1 drone. Moreover, Pakistan's military did not want to escalate the conflict. Otherwise, all 15 targeted aircraft would have been shot down. I believe global media know the truth because Pakistan accurately published the time, location, models of the downed aircraft, and even intercepted recordings of Indian pilots. If the Bharat Empire wanted to prove itself, it could simply show all its Rafale and Su-30 fighter jets. India only has 36 Rafale jets. A single video could debunk the rumors in minutes. But Clown Modi chose to celebrate nationwide for 10 days, giving speeches across the country. He habitually raised his middle finger, mimicking Mussolini, declaring India's victory and claiming Pakistan was terrified. Some time ago, Trump invited Pakistan's army marshal to visit, who stayed in Washington for a long time. Before launching airstrikes on Iran, Trump left the G7 summit early to return to Washington for lunch with him. Meanwhile, Clown Modi, who traveled far to attend the G7 summit in Canada, looked like a fool with no purpose. With the capabilities of U.S. intelligence agencies, they obtained detailed information about the air conflict long ago. Thus, after the conflict, Trump and Vance stated that India's war had nothing to do with the U.S. They know the Bharat Empire is a nation without strength, and the U.S. would never fight for it. It is better to align with Pakistan to maintain peace in South Asia. Otherwise, forcibly supporting India and suffering a crushing defeat, would the U.S. have to join the war itself? This issue has long passed, and the news has lost its heat. If Trump truly saw Modi as a qualified watchdog, he would not need to bring this up again to humiliate him. But Trump is a vain and vengeful person. He is humiliating Modi now because Indian media denied his key role in mediation. Even I, a Chinese person, find this intolerable. At the time, the Bharat Empire had already offended powerful nations like China, Russia, and Turkey. China and Turkey openly supplied weapons to Pakistan, and Pakistani soldiers performed heroically, even writing their last wills and piloting JF-17 jets to destroy India's S-400 air defense system. In this situation, Defeating India served the interests of all parties. Pakistan was willing to negotiate, and the U.S. role was undoubtedly significant. Without Trump's active mediation, who knows what kind of humiliation the Bharat Empire would have faced. But India cannot admit that Trump saved them, as that would publicly slap Modi in the face. Modi can lose the Clown King contest to Trump, but he cannot admit that under his leadership, India's military was unilaterally crushed and humiliated by Pakistan. The Indian government quickly took action, threatening X to ban numerous accounts and channels criticizing India. Even my small channel with fewer than 30,000 followers was not spared. Why? Because as a poor imitator of Mussolini, Modi rose through the fascist RSS organization, fabricated the so-called Gujarat economic miracle, promoted Hindu extremism, incited hatred against Muslims, and then became prime minister. After taking office, Clown Modi repeatedly boasted at various occasions that India would replace China as the world's factory, that the 21st century belongs to India, and that India will inevitably become a superpower. Yes, such a strong man cannot fail. His brainless fans, living in filthy, stinking slums without money to buy ice cream for their kids, find their only joy in using secondhand Xiaomi phones to fantasize about India becoming a superpower on social media. This honor greatly overshadows their reality, which is worse than cockroaches. Although Trump is also a clown, he is lucky. His country is the world's top superpower, with immense strength. In his remaining less than 4 years in office, no matter how he messes around, the U.S. will still maintain its superpower status. So he can issue personal meme coins to make money, constantly talk about taco when facing China, and still have countless fans supporting him. After all, he is the protagonist on the world's biggest stage. Even as a clown, he has a massive audience cheering for him. But Modi is different. The Bharat Empire's GDP, mixed with cow dung, is far behind China and the US, not even in the same league. India's poor infrastructure, low workforce quality, filthy environment, weak technological and defense capabilities, and terrible international image make Modi the undisputed top clown on the list year after year. Being the Clown King is hardly a prestigious honor. As the US's loyal watchdog, he has repeatedly visited Trump to beg for forgiveness, which is not a bad performance. But unexpectedly, just for not acknowledging his master's mediation efforts, he is publicly beaten with a stick by his master. Trump's humiliation of Modi is to tell him, "You are just a watchdog. Whatever the master says, you nod and execute immediately. If you try to show your individuality, the stick will come down to teach you pain."